All right, so it is February 12th. We're here for our regularly scheduled board meeting. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we're going to follow that with normal silence. Amen. All right, Mr. Martin, we're going to turn it over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome to the February board meeting. First up on the agenda is the consent agenda. Are there any questions? Okay, with that, I'd like to make the recommendation that the consent agenda, financial report, and board minutes of the regular board meeting held on January 22nd, 2024 be approved as submitted.
All right, so we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion? I'll make a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by John. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
All right, up next, we have student achievement and success, and we have some very special visitors at our board meeting today, and I'm going to turn it over to Coach Clark. Not sure where he's at, but I know he's in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Gotcha, all right.
Well, everyone, thanks for having us here tonight. I'm very pleased to have our Peters High School competitive cheer team with us. We've had a busy couple months in athletics since I've been here last. I think we're sitting on 4 state championships this year. We got cross-country boys. Cheer took care of business at Hot Springs. Our boys indoor track team won, and then most recently our bowling team won a state championship. So we're sitting on number 4. But this one is a little bit unique, even out of those 4. Our cheer team went down to Hot Springs like they always do. The second week of December, went down there and just did a tremendous job. Won the state championship rather handily. And then it was a stressful day, but when it was all said and done, rather handily. And then, by winning that, they qualified for nationals. And nationals was down in Dallas. And I had the good fortune of being able to go on the trip as well. And we got down there, and it was a huge event, like more teams than you can even guess. But our kids never blinked, not once. They went in there. Their first performance was incredible, and they followed it up. Their second one was even a little bit better than the first one. And then when all things were said and done, they were the national champions. So congratulations. I'd like to turn it over to our 2 cheer coaches. They do a tremendous job. I know they spend so much time with these young adults in here. It takes a lot of effort and love, and they do a great job with it. So, Coach Hurst, Coach Harrison, if you would, please come on up and say a few words.
Okay.
You guys want to go ahead and stand up. Go ahead and stand up. Yeah, look at their jackets. That is so pretty. From the back. So, from the back. So just over the last couple of years in the cheerleading program, there's just been a steady incline of athleticism and success. And so, no other year, we went down, took care of business at state, but we won state big. And whenever that, you consider the last time we won state by 0.4 of a point, and then this time we go down and we win by 8.3 points, like whole points, then it's like go time. So with much help of the parents and the school and the community, we literally pulled together the funds that we needed once that we just decided that we were going to go to nationals and nothing was going to stop us. And I do need to give a quick shout out to my husband, because I had a couple of nights where I was tossing and turning, like I don't know how we're going to resolve this money, and he said, focus on the team, we'll take care of the rest. And sure enough, everybody showed up. We made the trip to Dallas. We experienced Buc-ee's and In-N-Out, and we got a VIP tour of the AT&T Stadium. That was our team outing, and we were in the media room at the time that the results from day 1 came through. And so I was able to make the announcement that we were in first place by 0.4 of a point when we were in the media room up on this podium. That was really like a cool deal. And so we did that, and made memories at the local Italian restaurant. So where we called the pubs for the owners, and they just thought that was great. And then they went and they took care of business. On the Nationals platform, I had never been there before, so I didn't know what to expect. But from the coaches that had mentored me and had been there before, they always said, hey, it's going to be really, really close, like really, really close. So you might win by like 0.2 of a point or 1/10 of a point, so you're going to have to go and give it your best effort and all this good stuff. And so at the end of the day, whenever we did win, we actually wound up winning by almost 2 whole points. So they showed up, they had an incredible run the first day. We made some minor changes and some deductions that we got. And then right before we went on to finals, we were going to take a stunt out, and I called that group over and I said, hey, like this is it, I gotta know, because you say, hey, we're going to take that out, and their faces are kind of like, ugh. So I talked to them, this group, and I was like, are you going to do it or not? Like, are we going to do this or not? Like, you tell me, like, what's best for you and your team? And the group were like, no, we're going to do it. We're going to make it happen. Like, we can do it. Trust us, we can do it. And literally I said, hey, listen, is it 75% today? Like, let's crunch those numbers real quick. And they're like, no, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And then they did it. With 0 deductions, I hit all their stunts that day, and then one of my little gals came off and she was crying and she said, I'm so sorry, I missed the foot. And I'm like, girl, you missed the foot, but you got the whole ankle. Like, she caught that sucker right there, and it was just amazing. And so we're on to something really, really great here for sure. And so I foresee the next several years of us having much success at this regional, the local, and the state and national level for sure. So do we have time for them just to go through and introduce themselves really quick?
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
And say they're great.
Yes, they're great.
Okay, so we'll start down here.
I'm Carson Payton, and I'm in 9th grade.
I'm Katie Jones, and I'm a senior. I'm Macy Trammell, and I'm KG.
All right, I'm gonna have to interrupt. You're gonna have to speak up
I'll
louder
cut
so
it out.
everybody on Facebook can hear you guys. You guys are cheerleaders, I know you got it.
I'm Haley Starr, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Savannah Young, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Dave Piper, and I'm a junior.
I'm Riley Randall, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Miley Humphrey, I'm a junior.
I'm Ava Biffany, I'm a junior.
Connor Walker, I'm a sophomore.
I'm Bridget Clark, I'm a freshman.
I'm Maya Wendy, I'm a sophomore.
Chase Dancer, I'm a sophomore.
Jennifer Burkes, I'm a freshman.
I'm Emily Burkes, I'm a sophomore. I'm Grayson Person, I'm a freshman.
I'm Kat Lee, I'm a junior.
I'm Haley Phillips, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Andy Roberts, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Ava Clark, and I'm a junior.
I'm Lacey Williams, I'm a senior. I'm Kennedy Williams, and I'm a junior.
I'm Abby Kennedy, and I'm a senior. I'm Anna Metzeson, and I'm a senior.
So we're going to be pretty solid for the next couple of years because you didn't hear very many seniors. Even though we're going to miss our seniors tremendously. Lacey Williams was also named All-State again this year. And she doesn't know this yet because I just got the email, but she has also been invited to participate as our representative in the All-Star Game. But we do thank you for all of your support and the opportunities for you all to allow us to take these adventures and just kind of push them to their athleticism because they are phenomenal young adults and they have risen to every occasion. So we're going to finish out the basketball season strong with tournament play, and then we're going to rest for a little while and then have tryouts a little bit later this year. But super proud of them and all of their hard work and dedication and their parents' support in getting them where that they need to be. So thank you all for everything. Parents, thank you. You're the best.
So I think we want to get everybody up here for a picture for Annette.
That's what we're
Okay.
Guys, congratulations. But anytime kids are student athletes or students come up here, you have to take a picture. So we need you up here to get a picture made for Ms.
Well, they know
Harris.
how to line up for pictures, so y'all go ahead and do that.
Everybody look at this one.
Rex, what's up, man?
No, for Debbie.
Awesome. That's historic. That's
It is.
exciting.
Good stuff. All right. On to the next. Miss Harrison is not done. She is also a GT coordinator, a director of GT, and she is going to talk a little bit about the success our GT program has had over the past year.
Yes. So we were recently awarded best growth scores. We came in at third for districts of our size, 1,000 to 3,000 students. That was given by the Office of Educational Policy. They look at Aspire and MAP scores and put it in this fancy formula, and we came out with an 85.32. So we were very, very close to that 1 and 2 spot. Our highlights from that data, we were in the 98th percentile at the intermediate school in math, and in the 95th percentile at the middle school in math, and then in ELA we're the 79th percentile at the intermediate school. I serve 189 students, basically grades 3 through 12. We serve all of our students in K2 with pull-out enrichment. That is a 25% increase since 2022. I only was serving 152 years ago. That's the number of students per grade in each building. As you can see, the younger we get, the bigger they get. The classes are getting bigger. We have a bigger pool to pull from. In level 1, K2 students, they receive whole group enrichment lessons, 30 minutes a week in their keyboarding class. And then Ms. Ferguson also comes in and provides an additional 30-minute lesson a month since she's our another certified GT person. Level 2 are grades 3 through 6 for pull-out services. They are done during wind time for a minimum of 150 minutes a week. These are some of the topics that we touch on in that level 1 and level 2. In K2, we focus on creative thinking and being flexible and how to add details and elaboration. In grades 3 through 6, Ms. Ferguson and I have created curriculum that goes along with the topics that they're doing in class with wit and wisdom. So in 3rd grade, it's the sea and the solar system, trees of Arkansas, art and creativity. So whatever they're doing in their literacy class, I'm extending in reading and writing and science and math when I have them and when Ms. Ferguson has them. We also focus on critical thinking, creative thinking, deductive reasoning. We still are doing Quiz Bowl. We look at their scores, we make goals, we look at their growth. They also do have some free choice time. And we're currently working on robotics. Level 3 will be our junior high and high school students. They receive their services through their advanced coursework that is differentiated and rigorous. And they also have free choice during their Black Hawk time, club times. We do have Quiz Bowl at the junior high and high school level. They are both getting ready to go compete at state. Our junior high Quiz Bowl team has won state the last 2 years, hoping to get number 3 next weekend. These are some of the topics that we do within the junior high and high school. They're really geared in junior high. How can we be a better high school student? What do I need out of my high school experience? And then in high school, they meet once a month in addition to their coursework, and they focus on college applications, scholarships, and an extension of what they're doing in CCR. So these are a few pictures. This year I started challenge days. I just don't feel like 30 minutes every day is really enough time to get in depth and have them work on projects. So about every 6 weeks, we pull them, and each grade level comes for the entire day, except for their lunch and their auxiliary time. But it really gives us time to get in, go deeper, work on some projects, do some more collaborative stuff. So these are the things that we worked on at our first challenge day. We sewed buttons, and then we put our pictures all together, and it made the famous painting called The Wave. 4th grade learned to cross stitch. 5th grade made journey sticks and how to sew a bag. And then 6th grade they made compression glass and made a garment. The second 9 weeks we focused on what's offered for GT students at the co-op. So we taught and practiced some quiz ball and chess, Rubik's cubes, microbits with coding, and then we took that also full day to take 5th grade on a field trip to the Native American Museum. We just finished our 3rd challenge day last week, and we started with the basic robot and how to do basic coding, driving forwards and backwards. We do have another upcoming challenge day. We'll be traveling to the Walton Art Center. 3rd and 4th grade are going to watch The Boy Who Cried Wolf. 5th and 6th grade are going to watch North. And then I'm taking 9th graders to Tetris. Walton Art Center, we actually were chosen to do this stage to studio with our 3rd through 6th graders. The Walton Art Center provides us lunch. We watch the play, and then they take us over and they create some type of art based off of the characters or the theme of the play. We've never gotten to experience that before, so I'm pretty excited about that one. And that's all I got. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So, one of your first slides, you showed the increase in student population. Do you expect that with the increase in student need that we need to add some headcount to help
Yes,
meet
sir.
that need?
Absolutely.
That's actually that's later on tonight.
Yeah, when we hired our first one, it was 2 years ago with 151, and we've added a full classroom full. So yeah. Any other questions for me? All right. Thank you very much.
Hey, Ms. Harrison,
Yes,
thank you
sir.
so much. This is, we see the growth. We've been through the primary school all the way to the high school, seeing the great things they're doing. This is just another example of how we are growing academically in our district, and it's wonderful to see, and thank you so much for your leadership.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, yeah, up next we have a CTE overview for y'all, and Ms. Martell's going to
Yes,
do
so,
that.
before Ms. Harrison leaves, I want to say this is my 5th year here. When we started talks 5 years ago, she's like, she was stuck with it. I'm like, let me learn more. She's connected with Ms. Tabor consistently, and really through their partnership, they've really been able to really grow our GT in ways. So she's done an amazing job of taking the initiative and doing some great things. So when I first came here and met her, she was like, we gotta do these things. I'm like, okay, let me learn. But she really persisted, and so I really appreciate that. It helped us think differently. But today I'm excited to share with you, I gave you a handout and I have a few extra about the great things that are happening in career and technical education in Pea Ridge. And just to give you a little bit of background, with the LEARNS Act and some exciting things that happened, I was asked to sit on a statewide committee with the LEARNS Act and a work group on the college diploma, on the career ready diploma. So it's been exciting to see and share with districts across the state through the LEARNS work group the fabulous things that we're doing in Pea Ridge, and we're really able to take some of the things that are coming out through LEARNS that are going to come out in rules and really highlight and showcase our students and some things that we've already been doing in our trajectory for growth that really started with a great foundation with Primba and now moved forward with the evolution of our new high school, and it's allowed us to do some great things. So just to highlight a few things that are going on in career and technical education, this is just a one-pager that talks about some of the great things. I want to highlight in the last 2 years we've started internships and practicums. And when you work in a bedroom community or have a school district in a bedroom community, sometimes finding jobs and internships is a struggle. So I want to compliment some of our programs that have hired inside. So the school district has become this, without in the right way to say it, has become the employer of the apprenticeship opportunity. We have students working at our pre-K. We have students working in the technology department. We have students who are working on our media team, doing some great content. And we just across that way are seeing some neat things happen. As well as some students that are going out and doing some internships and practicums outside of UH, but it's really hard when you're in that veteran community and not a lot of industry folks. So we found some great ways to bring it in-house and teach students about career technical education opportunities in-house. But I want to highlight that our ag program is going strong. They had a great fall, and they had some good showings at the Benton County 4-H show. They earned some grand champion and some great placements that kind of launching them. FFA really kicks off and hits hard in the spring with the individual competitions. The things in the fall are more of a launch and a practice for those competitions. Our FCCLA program, Ms. Jacobs actually was awarded an apprenticeship, a fellowship through our national, this Career Technical Education Association. She earned a fellowship this year. She was unable to go last minute to the national conference because she got really sick, so we sent Ms. Weiss. Ms. Weiss pitched in and did all of the obligations so that we wouldn't lose that spot for Peerage. And Ms. Weiss did such an outstanding job, they automatically invited her around for next year to be a fellow. So that's exciting that we've had 2 teachers who participate in our fellowship program. I know you can easily see the culinary program and the neat things that they're doing and some collaborative. Keeping on with that, with the Nest, and Ms. Weiss has done some great job expanding some of that. We're seeing a real growth in our product and our creativity and the hands-on experiences that our students are getting. When we were luxury to get to go to the national conference. Ms. Tabor, Ms. Jackson, and I went to as a leadership group, and then Ms. Weiss was there for Ms. Jacobs doing the fellowship, and how the national vendors, Ms. Weiss had already reached out to them and they knew her, some of the opportunities to increase for our kids with some of the great equipment she has. If you haven't met Mr. Bobbitt, he's a new medical teacher this year. I think he was there when you were touring and you saw injured students and some treatment. So we're really getting use of some technology that we've had in there, especially with our animatage table. And we're seeing that grow, and you'll see in a minute we're actually going to ask for another health professions teacher. So we're seeing all these programs really take off. But our computer science, Mr. Hannah's going to talk about adding some equipment to help our computer science program go, so get their equipment up to grade. So I think you're going to be hearing a lot from our CTE programs as they really grow. The most important thing I want to stress though about CTE is the student organization opportunities. And I know we've had a great participation in DECA in the last few years. Peerage has been known for that. We've had state officers. But I want to shout out to, we have over 25 HOSA members, and that's the largest chapter we've had in years, I think since FREMBA. That's for the health and science, and they're going to start competing. Our FFA numbers have rebounded, and I think they're in the hundreds in their membership. Our Skills USA is taking off in some pieces. Mr. Davis, our new ag teacher, is going to take a spin off and take some kids I found out today to compete in the welding portion of the Skills USA competition. We also have Miss Jacobs and Miss Ivy, who have just taken off with our family consumer science. So like to see our students participating, that's what engages them and really prepares them, going back to that career ready. And it's exciting to see that happen and take off. So just want to highlight some things that were happening in career technical education. CAT conferencing is coming up, so for everybody that's home listening, those important decisions, we encourage kids to really look 8th to 9th grade to get your level 1 so you can get to those fun things you're in your upper grades. And also, for upperclassmen, don't think you can't try other pathways and programs too. So it's just an exciting time. So any questions about career technical education?
Well, have we thought about doing forensics or mock trial or things
Well,
along those lines?
actually, now that you say that, our thespians, that really runs through speech and debate, runs typically through your theater and thespian program. We actually had the first time Miss Elmore, she was Miss Man, took a team and the duet won, I think extemporaneous speaking or something like that. I can't remember the exact secretary. So I think that debate and forensics are probably on our trajectory,
Okay.
but they're not necessarily through career technical education. But inside of each CTSO, there's parliamentary procedure like an FFA, and Skills USA opening and closing ceremony. So each of those organizations have opportunity for students that might be interested in that area. But I see that with growing with our forensics. But they went to their first forensics and theater competition, so I think you'll see them.
Okay, awesome.
That's exciting. Anything else? That's a great question.
Thanks.
Thank you for your support. 'Cause those can seem expensive pieces and programs, but the outcome on the end for our students is really worth it, I'm sure.
Yeah, they saw firsthand Mr. Bob at
Oh, yeah.
class at
Yes.
the foot of the stairs at the.
Yes. Fake injuries.
Yes.
Not real injuries. Thank goodness, but we're ready, just in case.
Yeah, Miss Harris's eyes did not look like they were fake
What
at
was
first.
happening? Yeah. You got there on drill day.
Hey, up next on the agenda are action items and a revision to the 23-24 academic calendar and inclement weather calendar waiver request. And what that's about is, over the past month, the state has experienced some inclement weather. And DESE is allowing districts the opportunity to revise their calendars for the 23-24 school year. They're allowing us to switch to an alternative calendar, which is hour-based instead of day-based, and we're required to provide at a minimum 1,068 hours for all students. At our K-6 buildings, that's not an issue because, recess, be honest with you, recess/physical activity counts. There's no transition times. The only time during the day that basically doesn't count is lunch. At the 7-12 level, we have lunch, but we also have passing time. Well, when we dig into our day, the state minimum for a day is 6 hours even. We go 6 hours and 15 minutes a day, or 6.25. And when you do that off of a 178 calendar day, you come up with 5 hours, so almost 113. Which means if y'all approve us switching from a traditional to an alternative calendar, DESE will allow us to have 7 days that the students do not have to make up. Now, counting today, we would be at 5, but that would still give us 2, and the students would still be, last day would still be May 24, and everything. So with that comes, our teachers are on a 190-day contract, and law says that they have to fulfill the 190 days, so we will be working with them to provide professional development during those times. And it could be, after hours where they could do work on their own to make up those times as well, or come in so that they can fulfill their contract. Make up their contract's not the right word. Fulfill their contract. Now there are some steps to that, and the first step is for the school board to approve on the waiver request right here, for the school board to approve the waiver request and the revised calendar, and then it goes back to PPC. This is kind of out of order for the way we usually do things. Even though we've worked very closely with PPC in developing this, technically the school board has to approve it first, and then this week and the beginning of next, probably the PPC votes on it to approve it. If they approve it, we send it into the state and post it to our website and let everyone know. So we still have a couple of steps, but I think this is a good opportunity for us to, still get the required hours in that we're required to by law, honor everyone's contract, and honor taxpayer money with that as well.
Okay.
Are there any questions? Kevin, is that about right? Okay. All right, with that, I'd like to make the recommendation that we approve the revised 23-24 academic calendar and inclement weather calendar waiver as presented.
All right, so we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion? Motion by Jessica. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Sarah. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
All right, up next, we have actual 40 waiver request for the 24-25 calendar start date. What this is our cooperative as a whole. They're going to request a waiver to start school not on the 19th, that Monday, but move it forward, I guess is the right word, or back it up to August 14th, that Wednesday. Right now, we have polled our teachers in our community. Our teachers are in favor, I believe, of starting on the 14th. Our community isn't, just based on that blanket information, but what we're asking for is just permission to request this waiver. If it's granted, it will give us the option to present a couple of different calendars to people. Without us having the waiver, we can't we can't present anything because we have to start on the 19th without the waiver, and we do not know if the waiver is going to be approved or not at the state level.
So what we're voting on is to submit for the waiver request.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
What is the purpose of the waiver? Like, what is the thought process?
Well, it allows us more days before assessment, and it's about getting as many days in. It allows us to balance out the semesters. Right now, you will have, you may have 80-something days in this fall semester and 90-something days in the spring. So it allows to, because you want your semesters to end before Christmas break as well. And so it allows to balance out those days as well. You know, there are different types of calendars that you can apply, that you can do now. There's 4-day, alternative, traditional, and year-round. We're looking for next year, an alternative means where we can count hours and everything, and to make sure that, I believe the superintendent in Arkansas said that the minimum is not the maximum, and we need to make sure that we abide by that it's not the minimum that we're going by, but it's having enough time to provide a quality education for all our students.
Is there any negatives from pushing for the waiver for the 14th?
There's no negatives to it. It gives us options.
Okay.
That's all. Just because they approve the waiver doesn't mean we have to use it.
Okay.
But for us to provide options to even look at, we
It
need to
has
know
to be
if the waiver is approved or not.
Sounds good.
And so at a later date, you would come back with an option or a proposal for the next academic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But this gives us, we don't, the option piece.
Without this, we have no option.
No, we'll start on the 19th without
Okay.
this.
All right.
Any other questions? Okay. With that, I'd like to make a recommendation that we approve the act, hold on, this is a resolution, so I technically need to read this, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
So it says a resolution to the Board of Directors of Pea Ridge School District authorizing the district to request a waiver. Whereas the Pea Ridge Board of Directors is committed to providing a high-quality education to all students within the district. Whereas certain circumstances or regulations may require the district to seek waivers to better address the unique needs or challenges faced by the district. Whereas the regulation or requirement to pertain to, and for reasons seeking the waiver, now therefore be it resolved that the Pea Ridge Board of Directors of Pea Ridge School District hereby authorizes the district administration to formally request a waiver for the first student contact day of the 24-25 school year to begin on August 14th, 2024. Be it further resolved that the superintendent or designee is authorized to take all necessary steps and actions to submit the waiver request, including providing any additional information or documentation required by relevant authorities. Be it further resolved, the Board of Directors expresses its support for the waiver request and acknowledges the importance of flexibility in addressing the unique needs and circumstances of the district. The resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption, with the adoption date on there. But while the resolution does, it still has to go before the state board to be approved.
Okay, so we have a recommendation as stated. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by John. Do we have a second? I'll second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
All right, up next, we have board-to-board transfer. This has slowed down considerably. We have one request for, to transfer out a fifth grader, and I believe that fifth grader was currently going to school in Rogers. The parents family relocated here, and they want to continue to go to Rogers. So with that, I would like to make the recommendation that we approve the transfers, the board-to-board transfers as presented.
All right, so we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion? Motion by Jessica. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ryan. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
Up next, we have approved out-of-state travel. Ms. Bennett and the second grade teachers are requesting to go to Laurel River State Park in Cassville, Missouri on May the 10th. I know that is just a little ways from here, but you're technically crossing state lines, but it is a wonderful place to go, whether they're going to the nature center or to the hatchery or just simply going through the trails. It's a wonderful experience for the kids and a wonderful place to have a field trip.
All right.
Are there any questions? Okay, with that, I'd like to make the recommendation to approve travel to Cassville, Missouri on May 10, 2024.
All right, so we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I'll
have a second?
Second.
Second by John. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Great. Up next, we have curriculum and instruction. Ms. Tabor was kind enough to help the district apply for a high-impact tutoring grant through the LEARNS Act. And Ms. Tabor, would you like to talk about this a little bit, or you want me to? Okay, please.
We were approved to purchase a resource called BookNook that provides virtual tutoring, high impact tutoring, so it's 3 times a week for 30 minutes each, for grades 3 through 6. And so it's just a request to purchase that resource. It exceeds our threshold. Total grant was for about $59,000. It includes face-to-face tutoring as well, but this is the virtual component that we need to purchase.
Yep, and this will involve no district operating funds. Any questions? Okay. With that, I'd like to make the recommendation that we purchase BookNook in the amount of $43,600.
All right, so we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
Make the motion.
Okay, motion by Ryan. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by John. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
Up next, under business and finance, we have the 2025-2026 budget. I know that sounds a little off, but it's for the proposed budget of expenditures with our tax levy, that didn't come out right, beginning July 1, 2025, and ending on June 30th, 2026. This is a requirement by the state for auditing purposes, and this is not our actual budget for the 25-26 school year. Y'all haven't even approved the 24-25 budget. It's just something that's required by law based on our mill rate. Are there any questions? With that, I'd like to make the recommendation that we approve the proposed budget of expenditures with tax levy for fiscal year beginning July 1, 2025 and ending on June 30, 2026.
All right, so we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion? I'll make a motion. All right, Sarah, second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
Up next, we have some technology purchases. I believe Mr. Hand's here. He's going to walk us through this. Our first one is our firewall protection. Mr. Hand, do you want to add anything to that?
For our network firewall, for the district, it's the piece that sits on the outside and keeps bad things out, good things in. What we have is really old, it's at least 10 years old. We can't update it any further, so we're looking for something to do. This will provide next day business replacement if something happens for 5 years, support for 5 years. The equipment will probably last a few years after that. So after that first 5 years, we'll do a yearly support contract with it to keep that going. The cost you're looking at is going to be E-rate, so there's 42% of the purchase was ineligible for E-rate. What E-rate is that's the 50% we get off from the NSLP numbers we have for free reduced lunches. So of the eligible portion, we get 50% off that. So see your package total cost $35,183.75. Pretty much a 5-year firewall. Any questions on the firewall?
Okay, with that, I'd like to make the recommendation that we purchase firewall protection through Next Step in the amount of $35,183.75.
All right, so we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by John. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Sarah. Any further discussion? All in favor? No opposed. Okay.
Up next, we have battery backup. I can speak a little bit more to this when I know what batteries are. And we have about 21 closets that our batteries for backup are aged and they need replaced. So Mr. Hands worked very hard to find the best rate for us. I believe there's lithium-ion batteries that will sustain longer than what we currently have as well.
Is that amount under what we have to approve?
It is, but we get so close to that number that if a shipping or handling thing changes, or tax rate changes,
Alright.
it can bump us over that 20,000 mark really quick.
Yeah.
So, yes, sir, I'd rather go ahead and approve it. Any questions? Okay, with that, I would like to make the recommendation that we purchase battery backup from Heartland in the amount of $18,810.05.
All right, so we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion? Motion by Jessica. Do we have a second? Second. Second by Sarah. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
Up next is our network control. Currently, we use Aruba for our wireless access points, and we would like to bring in Aruba for that as well. It allows us to, provide better service for our faculty, staff, and the students that we serve and everything. It's something that's needed as our need for technology continues to increase. Anything else on that?
It's additional piece of network equipment. Over the past 2 years, used E-rate funds to buy wireless and wired network equipment. This is another piece of wired, it'll work for wired and wireless equipment to help us better secure the network. And better manage the wireless, better the guest wireless access that we have.
Any questions? Okay. With that, I'd like to make the recommendation that we purchase Aruba NAC controllers from Next Step in the amount of $48,415.53.
So we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion? I'll make a motion. All right, second by Sarah. Any further discussion? All in favor? No opposed, okay.
Up next is Chromebook rotation. As our population grows and Chromebooks become outdated, we need to continue to replace them. So Dan's worked very hard on, in his department, making sure that our Chromebooks are good, our students have access. And with that, every year we need to purchase additional Chromebooks for our students' growth, but also to replace the aging devices. And with that, this is a request to purchase 500 Chromebooks, including the cases and licenses and all that stuff, from DCW, in the amount of $152,385.68. And we will never print anything this small again. I'm struggling here reading this. So, are there any questions on that?
What are the white glove services on this one?
White glove service, it's an additional service that we tack on. What happens is when I buy the product goes to a warehouse. They open every one of them. They add them to our Google domain.
Okay.
For a small fee per device. And then once they add to that domain, as soon as I get them here in a box, I'm ready to put them in a cart, put them in a hand, they're ready to go.
Okay.
So that we aren't doing that on our end.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
Any questions? Okay, with that, I'd like to make the recommendation that we purchase Chromebooks from DCW in the amount of $152,385.68.
So we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by John. Do we have a second? Second by Ryan. Any further discussion? All in favor? No opposed, okay.
Our last technology purchase that we're requesting is for our high school computer science lab. That's Mr. Pereira's classroom, to replace his computers with 26 machines. These machines will also be able, they're infinitely better, and they'll also allow our students to do their esports programs, competitions to them as well, so to serve two purposes.
Okay.
Any questions? Okay. With that, I'd like to make the recommendation that we approve the purchase of 26 desktop computers from Bytespeed in the amount of $49,348.
All right, so we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion? Motion by Jessica. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Sarah. Any further Yep.
personnel, do y'all see?
I had no need for
Okay.
executive.
All right, our first item is additional staff positions for next year. You know, last month I told you it'd be more than one. And we're at 6 right now. We will probably bring you some more in March that may include, traditional classrooms like at the elementary, some classified staff as well, but these are in special education, but right now we know we need these to get started with it. The sooner that we can start advertising, the better off we are. Every one of these are to meet standards for accreditation for next year based on student increases in enrollment. You have a health science teacher. What that will be is to, right now, half classes of health and half the classes with health science to feed into what Mr. Bobbin's doing at the high school that y'all saw him, so, and his students earlier. The next is a math science teacher at the high school to help with numbers, a counselor for our district to help with increased numbers. We are at a 450-to-1 ratio for counselors. Right now, we believe it will only be 6 that are required next year, but this will move us to 7 to make sure we stay well within that. And it's about providing service to kids, and I believe that we can never have it. That's just something that we need more of and to benefit our kids. Our ALE program, to have a full-time FTE teacher in our secondary ALE program, that will also relieve 2 of our teachers who are spending a little bit of time in there to go back into the high school and junior high to provide more service at that building as well, and provide more service into ALE with the full-time ALE teacher. Our ESOL program, our numbers in ESOL are growing, our demographics are changing, and we need another staff member there to help with that demographic. And lastly, we had Ms. Harrison here earlier talking about her numbers, to add another gifted and talented teacher within our district to help with those numbers and continue to provide the excellent service that we already do. This is a great, growth has pains.
Yeah.
This is a good thing to have. It's the opportunity to offer more services and more programs for our kids, and that's what we're here to do. So, are there any questions? Okay. With that, I'd like to make the recommendation that we add the 6 FTEs as presented.
All right, so we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion? Motion by Sarah. Do we have a second?
Second.
I'm gonna go with John for the second. All right, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Up next, we have resignations, and we have 2. We have Miss Ashton Mundy and Ms. Strickland, that I'd like to make the recommendation that we accept their resignations with regret.
All right, so we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion? Motion by Sarah. Do we have a second? Second by Jessica. This one makes me sad.
It does, but Miss Mundy, she's moving on with her life, getting married, it's a good thing.
I know it's a good thing. She just went to school with my son, so I was really excited when she
Oh,
came
yeah,
here to
she's-
teach, and this one's just gonna be personally, it's gonna be a hard one to swallow. So.
Oh, I get it, they lived beside me
I know.
for years.
I know. All right. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
And next is hiring, and I'd like to make the recommendation that we hire Leon Laughlin as bus driver.
All right, so we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion? Motion by Ryan. Do we have a second? Second by Sarah. Any further discussion? All in favor? Hey, does he do like the long trips, or is he just gonna be local?
He's gonna be a route driver initially.
Okay.
For us, and then if he wants to pick up the extra shifts, he'll do so.
Okay.
He's gonna start on that.
Awesome. All right, thank you.
And last, we have approval for renewal of administrator and director contracts for the 24-25 school year. We always do those contracts in February because they do evaluations and help make the renewals for all of our teachers and staff members as well. So, are there any questions? Okay. With that, I'd like to recommend the renewal for our administrators and directors for the 24-25 school year as presented.
All right, so we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion as presented? Motion by Sarah. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Jessica. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
Ms. Cawthorn, that's all I have.
Make a motion to adjourn?
John, I second it. Thanks, guys.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.